Hello again. Here's another Driftwood from my dad. I filmed one and I was like, I want to do another one. So this one is actually really neat. I'm not sure if any of you know what lucid dreaming is. So lucid dreaming, just a quick way to explain it, is, I mean, we will call it a dream, but it's actually like we are doing things in another dimension as ourself. It's gonna take like longer than I want to talk about it here, but that's basically it. It's like a dream, but it's a real dream. Okay, we'll just say that for right now. So this was before I had given birth to Ruby, and I was so no, actually, I'm sorry. Hold on. This was not before I gave birth to Ruby. This was a few months after. So I think this was in January. So a few months after he died. Sorry. I just got corrected that I was not so pregnant. But how I got corrected is because they reminded me of this. I had not that I hadn't like felt my dad and stuff around me, but I was really missing like the physical presence of my dad. So I could hear him. I mean, all these things were happening, and I was having this dream, and we were in my house. It wasn't my house here, but it was like a dream house of mine or something that we were in. And I was walking, and I went up and I saw my dad, and he was sitting, and he had like not an oxygen thing, but he was on an IV, which we probably should talk about too. But basically he was in a healing center of spirit, which when we pass on, some souls need extra healing like before other things happen up there, and that's where he was, and he was showing me that, and I ran up to him, and there was no speaking, but we were communicating telepathically, and he was like explaining to me where he was. He was getting extra healing over there before he moved on to, we'll talk about, some other things that he showed me that he does over there. But what was interesting is I was holding his hands, and he was gripping my hands so tight that when I was dreaming, I was crying, and I woke up and I was crying, but I physically was feeling his hands. And there was a moment where I knew I was in a lucid dream with him, and I knew I was on Earth, but I was staying so present, feeling him, because that is what I had been asking for, because I was really, really missing it. And so I share this one, for one, because it was so amazing, but I don't know if some of you have experienced something like this, or doubt it, or question it. Maybe talking about this healing center is going to prompt some questions, or discussions, or maybe you're like, you're fucking crazy. But yeah, it was so beautiful, and I was so grateful that I got that moment of like physical touch. So yeah, another amazing one. Okay, thank you for listening. Love you.